Hey, it's Monday, and you're here. Why? You got nothing better to do on a Monday except watching On the Peg with me, your host, the one, the eyebrow-raising, controversial at times. Yeah, I am, sometimes, especially on my other channel. But a lot of people just know me simply as the Mad Montreal Man. And, well, it's Monday, and of course, Mondays are a special day of the week that we like to call Marvel Monday. And because, well, I asked which one you want to see, and it was kind of a tie. I got a message on the channel, and I got a message through Facebook. Someone else told me in person one. So it was almost a tie. But there was one vote that won out above all of them. So today we are doing From the Strange Tales, Bloodstorm. Shout out to Shane. Shane, yours was the deciding vote. Because up until I saw your comment, it was half and half. People were saying this, people were saying that. But your vote, because you actually posted it on the channel, didn't tell me personally, which you could have done. Basically, you get Bloodstorm review today. Now, I was able to see the other Strange Tales figures, and it's a Build-A-Figure. But for me, it's kind of a Build-A-Figure that, well, I already have him from when they released him. I'll show it to you after. I'll pull him up after and you can sort of see. And to answer another question someone brought up to me when I was shopping the other day, they said they saw on my channel, didn't subscribe. Why not? But they asked me because they were only watching the Marvel stuff. They didn't see the DC stuff, which is why they stopped me and asked me, I saw your channel. Why do you have DC stuff behind you when you're doing Marvels? And I said, well, if you've seen my channel, you know that the Marvel Monday is a short video, and the regular show on Fridays is this. But they asked me, basically bluntly, why am I only doing women Marvels? It's a good point. It is a good point. And I basically told them, well, I have a lot of Marvel Legends from beforehand, and my problem with Marvel Legends is twofold. One is the height. I'm not a fan of 6-inch figures. I just, you know, to me, they seem a bit short. Which, when you're looking at some characters like Wolverine, okay, he's supposed to be short. But some other characters, it's kind of like, they seem small. It's almost as if you take a Marvel Legend, put next to, say, a McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman. It's like a teenager versus an adult. So that's one problem I have with them. The other problem is that wonderful joint they use for the torso. I call it, you know, the U-joint. Don't like them. So I told them flat out, one of the reasons why I kind of like looking at Marvel Legends female figures is twofold. One, if you put them next to a DC McFarlane, well, women, I don't want to sound mean, I might get some hate from this, women worldwide, for the most part, are shorter than men. So it kind of makes sense that the action figures would be shorter than the male counterparts. Another thing is, Marvel seems to be in the right steps of fixing their problem with their torsos. The women don't have that weird U-joint torso. So hopefully that answers your question. And if you watch the video again, subscribe this time. Doesn't hurt you. If you told me you watched 3 of my videos, all Marvels, well, subscribe already. You'll get more Marvels, especially on Mondays. Did I digress again? Yes, I digressed again. My editor is telling me, you went off topic. Yeah, I did. You know what? Music board. And before people start thinking I have a great big budget, well, we had some of our guests had footage that was lost when my old computer died, and this was one music board that was reviewed by Dr. Cool himself, but that footage is gone, and I have it in my hands right now. Yep, it's a Dollarama music board. I just thought it was fun. Dr. Cool didn't like it too much, but to me it's kind of fun, and you know what? For $1.50, you can't beat the price. So every now and then I'm going to pull out the little toy and have a little bit of fun with it. But let's get back on track. Yes, Storm as Bloodstorm from the Strange Tales. This is from a storyline when she becomes a vampire. She gets bitten by Dracula. Yes, Marvel has a Dracula too. And one thing I will say about the packaging this time, I don't normally talk about packaging. Unlike previous Marvel Legends, this one you open up at the bottom. Interesting. Well, what do you say we get my friend, my ally in this wonderful adventure of looking into action figures? I love him. I respect him. He is the only one I would call in an emergency if I have to get a plastic figure out of a plastic cardboard box. Of course, I'm talking about Dr. Scalpel. So let's get Dr. Scalpel, cut the bottom of the box open, and get to it. Okay, well, as you saw in the close-up, nice screaming detailed fang face. There's also another head that comes with the mouth closed. Very serious looking. Now, one thing I do give Marvel Legends credit for when they do these kind of figures, quite often they do give you a spare head you could swap out. And this head, I have to admit, I could see it being used for non-vampire figures as well. It's a nice, sculpted head. Points for the extra head. The hands. Well, I always find Marvel Legend pegs are puny, especially against my big hand. But the spare hands, nice open palms, different style. I like the fingers. Something different. Once again, point to Marvel Legends for doing that. As for the figure herself, let's take another look at her. Well, you saw in the close-up the screaming face, the fangs. I like the earrings being painted on. The belt is a loose belt. Articulation-wise, not much problems with it. I mean, it's posable. It's a bit stiff, but then again, all Marvel Legends are stiff when you come out of the package. I do like the details in the jacket. Marvel, once again, didn't do that stupid torso. They did a nice, normal torso. I like it. And, size, apart from the size it being smaller, in some ways this works for me. Because if you have the DC vampires, even though I'm still trying to track down the Batman from the Vampire series, but I have a few other vampires, I can see this going on the shelf with them. This is why I like some of the Marvel Legends, because I could put her, there's not that weird torso, bonus number one, and even though she's smaller, you would think, teenage girl vampire, it works! Really simple. And the proportions are nice, the hair sculpting is nice, the jacket's nice. I have one problem with this figure, and only one problem. This. I hate these thigh cuts, because as soon as you turn it, in most cases you get that weird sort of deformation of the leg. Why bother? I've seen other action figures from other companies where it's all in the ball joint. You can turn the ball joint up in the hip and it works. The only negative. I do like this one and I do recommend this one. If you're a horror guy or a vampire guy, front of the shelf. That's right, front of the shelf. Now, as for the other ones in the series, I did see them. I didn't buy any of them. Several reasons. Most of them have that sort of shortness I don't like. They didn't seem to be as well sculpted. The Moon Knight, I already have a Moon Knight. I actually have two Moon Knights from previous Marvel Legends. The Hellson, well, first of all, he doesn't look good. I mean, Ghost Rider as Wolverine is kind of interesting, but it's a reused body. As for the other one, the Brother Voodoo, well, I saw it and I went, ooh, dated look, kind of, borderline racist. Not to sound mean, it is kind of that. But for the most part, I could have bought them. I could have bought the entire series and built the figure. But when I was at GameStop, by the way, because that's where I got that from, I didn't pre-order this. It was I got a call from the manager, and I went down and picking up something else. I went, let me take a look at that. That looks good. I'll buy that. So that's one thing I like about the GameStop at Rito. They're very good at doing that for me. They'll, it wasn't pre-ordered. They got it, and they're kind of thinking, well, I only got one left. I think he's going to want it. And they did. As for the Build-A-Figure itself, well, this is the figure you get to build. This guy. Now, this is the one that came out in Marvel Legends way back when. And height-wise, well, it's kind of appropriate. It's a big guy. Now, the body for the Build-A-Figure, of course, it's much bigger. It's darker. But I already have him. Another thing I didn't like about this, when I took out the package, see that? It is like stuck. I almost have to click it into place. It's a click torso. I mean, if you don't have this guy from previously, or you want a bigger version of him, because it would be a bigger version, then you have to buy all these figures to build him, or just track down the old one. I mean, it's literally, apart from a slight different paint on the torso, it's the same figure. Marvel, if you're going to do Build-A-Figures, make it figures that we don't have already. Just saying. I already have him. This will go into my pile of Marvel Build-A-Legends parts that I never will complete, because I just don't plan on buying more. But, this one I recommend. So Shane, because I know you pre-order them, this one you won't regret. This one will make up for the whatever negatives you find with the other ones. And if you did order this, good choice, because, I actually am looking forward to this. I'm also looking forward to using this in a future customizing this video, because after the regular season 3 ends, which is coming up soon, I'm taking a break from On the Peg. There won't be any Marvel Mondays for a while. There won't be any regular Friday shows. But there will be some other stuff going on. But during that time, I'll be working on my Kryptonian universe. And that's going to be all like sort of like custom ideas I have for an alternate DC universe that's in my mind. And the good thing about Marvel Legends, especially the female ones that have decent looking torsos, is they lend well to being customized into the DC universe. There are some other Marvel Legends that I've picked up. I mean, I've got Odin on order. There's some other ones I have from my old collection that I could see bringing into the DC universe with some customization. But for the most part, Marvel Legends, especially when you're on a tight budget, price-wise, this is worth the money. This was worth the money, but a lot of the other ones that are coming out, I just don't find are worth the money. I saw the Kingpin, and I looked at it, it was like $50+ Canadian for the Kingpin, and I just went, it makes me think of the Cops, Big Boss action figure. It almost made me, I even said to, the guys at the store, I was like, I look at this, I'm thinking, it's Big Boss from Cops, except they changed the head sculpt. But that's it for this Marvel Monday. So unless Odin comes in next Monday, female Loki. After all, gotta support the gods, the real gods. And that's it. This week is going to be an interesting week because I'm finishing editing the Montreal Man show, the relaunch of that. I decided to break it down to like about 9 to 10 minute segments, and I'll just keep an eye on my other channel, because I'm going to post them on TikTok and on YouTube on my other channel. But that's it. Once more, if you're in Canada, have a happy Thanksgiving. If you're somewhere in the States, our Thanksgiving's better than yours. Just saying. And if you're a scammer out there, I like messing with you. I had fun with one today, but that's besides the point. But if you're anywhere else in the world, well, have a good week. it's important. It's Monday. Have a good week. Now here in Canada, some stores are open, but for the most part, it's quiet. People are spending time with their family. They're being thankful for different reasons. I'm thankful I had a Marvel Legend I actually liked. And I have you, my subscribers, my loyal few subscribers. So thank you so much for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing. And do your best, of course, because it's important to stay healthy. And, when you get something that actually puts a smile on your face, well, action figures are a great way, of course, to stay happy. And even though life may be full of darkness and despair and depression, if you fake it, eventually after faking it so long, it might just come second nature to you, but do your best to stay positive. And see you guys on Friday for what most likely will be the Ghost of Krypton Sketch Edition package. Until then, have a good week. Take care of yourselves. This is a Toyaholic public service announcement. Beware of toys with bendy tails. They break. Yep, my toy that's lasted all these years, I went to pose it with the tail down and it snapped off. And it's the same material made as the Build-A-Figure, so be warned. Of course, I can just glue this back on. But that's it. I'll see you guys on Friday.